Hello everyone. So sorry that we're running a little late today, but Heather with Health Renewed Coaching, and I'm here with Derek Ledwidge today from Strive Fitness and Performance, and we're going to talk about physical activity. And the reason we're going through physical activity, and last week we did career and relationships, and next week we'll do spirituality. We're trying to increase our level of satisfaction in these four areas, because without them being balanced and feeling good in these different areas, everything else is off. Our nutrition is off, our health is off. So by helping all of you to bring up that level of satisfaction, we hope that overall health will be better. So I'm going to let Derek introduce himself, and then we will work on giving you some resources and tips to give you a hand.
Thank you, Heather. Yes, I am Derek Ledwidge. I'm the owner here at Strive Fitness and Performance. In Sterling Heights, we're located at Utica Road in Van Dyke, right by Hall Road area. We're a fully functional fitness facility that promotes strength, cardio conditioning, as well as nutritional coaching. And our main clientele is a little bit of everyone. It's for all ages, all fitness levels, and the overall goal that makes us a little bit more different than a typical gym is we provide personal training in a group setting. So you're not completely alone, you're not just a number or anything like that, and we want you to become a little bit better each and every single time you walk in.
That's great. So what is the overall benefit? What can they do to increase their level of physical activity?
Well, exercise has multiple benefits, especially in today's day and age, just simply because we live in a society that is high stress and really, really easy. Everything is convenient. We have fast food, which is insanely unhealthy, and we don't have to walk anywhere. We go in the car. We don't have to shop anymore because we use Amazon. We don't have to go into the movie theater because of Netflix and everything like that. So everything is at our fingertips, and that promotes non-activity. Yes. And you pair that up with desk jobs, which majority of people have, and now all of a sudden we have a lot of back issues, knee issues, everything like that, just simply because we are hunched over about 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. And so exercise helps us build that strength, so now we have that core strength, so now we don't have to take medication or have surgery, because now all of a sudden we're a little bit more active, and because our body wants to be active. That's what it did in the past, because it just had to. Now we don't have to, so now it's becoming just second nature that we don't do anything. And when we build that muscle and build that strength, our memory becomes a little bit better. We have a lot more energy, and we can do a lot more things than we couldn't do before. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times just doing something that we weren't doing before. For people that are really, really sedentary, that don't do anything, honestly, just going out for a walk or doing some bodyweight squats or bodyweight push-ups or whatever our version is, just doing something that we weren't doing before will get us benefits.
That's great. And some of it too is thinking long-term.
Yes.
And I know for me that I heard something not too long ago that individuals have to, in their older years, have to leave their home that they don't want to leave, but they can no longer get up and down from going to the bathroom, using the toilet, getting up and down from the bed and chairs. So they need to go into assisted living. They need to hire people to come in and care for them, because they lack the core strength and the thigh and all your big strong leg muscles that you need in order to get up and down to raise yourself. So it's really important to keep those muscles in good shape.
Yes, yeah. A lot of when we don't use the muscles, they sort of become weaker. So just exactly what you mentioned, especially as we age. And you can't stop it. You just have to make sure it goes slower. Because our bodies basically get weaker as we get older. Yeah. A lot of people that come here, we have all ages. I have multiple 7-year-olds that have double knee replacements that come and all work out here. And their overall goal when we have our goal sessions is not to become like that.
Yeah.
And then everyone else, there's a lot of people that their goal is to be there for their grandkids, mm-hmm. or be there for their kids so they can do more, because they see themselves, if they don't change their path, they're going to become exactly what you just mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. So while you might think I'm in great shape now, or everything's okay, you know, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s or 50s, whatever it is, maintaining some good physical activity throughout your life is really going to serve you in your older life.
Absolutely.
So a lot of folks come to us for weight loss. What are some of the benefits for weight loss?
Benefits of exercise for weight loss is just simple activity, you know, but most importantly is to keep that lean muscle. A lot of times people don't really want to do strength training just because they don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And so that is the difference here is, I mean, majority of our clients are people that have gone to typical gyms and they're just lost. They don't really know anything, so then now all of a sudden they go on the treadmill or they just stop going altogether just because they have no direction. Mm-hmm. And when we build that lean muscle, we can do more things because we're getting stronger. You know, the same thing as we talk about with that core strength. If you can do more things because you're stronger, well, now you're moving more. When you're moving more, just not even thinking about it, now all of a sudden you start losing weight. And on top of that, when you build that muscle burns more calories by just doing nothing. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you're burning, the more weight loss you end up having. And so that's why we want to not only just, you know, cardio if you like it, have great nutrition to promote weight loss, but also strength training. You know, actual strength training, because if we are strength training, we get all that, now all of a sudden we're building more muscle and we're burning more calories and promoting weight loss by doing less activity.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things when people are trying to lose weight, what we were taught a long time ago was to eat less when we're trying to lose weight. And I know that for myself, that's an area that I struggle or used to until I talked to Derek and said, you know, this is what's going on with me. I feel tired. So then I don't want to work out because I'm feeling exhausted. Well, what he explained to me was that I probably wasn't eating enough. And if you're not taking in enough calories to fuel your body, then you're going to be exhausted. So that was a big eye-opener for me.
Yeah, and that's very, very typical in today's day and age, especially among women, because women especially, they're constantly always trying to lose weight, mostly because of today's day and age, and you know, the health industry, weight loss industry is huge, mm-hmm. and so it's always on people's minds, and so now everyone's living on a diet, and at some point it becomes, well, I can't lose weight anymore because even though I'm a clean eater, mm-hmm. and I exercise, do all this other stuff, and majority of the time the answer is you're just not eating enough. Yeah. And that's because, like you said, you're not fueling yourself enough just to survive or to handle your metabolism, so now all of a sudden everything just stops. Yeah. And that's probably like 80% of the people that come here.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that you brought up was stress. Diets are very stressful, yes. And why neither one of us promote a specific diet. It's about eating real whole food to nourish your body and to understand what works for you and what doesn't. Explain the role of stress.
So again, the stress, we live in a very, very stressful society. Like, I mean, you can have kid stress, spouse stress, work stress, you know, just every type of stress. Yeah. You add that with workout, and working out is a stress in the body. Mm-hmm. The benefits of a workout or a diet are not what you're actually doing, it's your body's adaptation to it. So as it adapts, that's when you get the benefits. But if your stress level is way too high because of everything else, mm-hmm. your body's not going to function as well as it should. So now all of a sudden you get fatigued. You know, you just feel like you can't do anything, and it's majority of the time because of the stress. Yeah. So honestly, that's one of the things that we talk about with my clients is when we always talk about just lifestyle goals. I know you talk about that with your clients as well. And a lot of times just fixing that, just having something that de-stresses you. Sometimes it is working out. Sometimes it's running. Sometimes it's meditation. Mm-hmm. You know, if you find something that de-stresses you, a lot of times your body becomes happy again. And if your body's not happy, it certainly is not going to lose weight because that's the last thing that it wants to do. Right. It wants to feel good.
Yeah, and it's trying to protect you.
Yes, absolutely. And because there's so much stress in the world, a lot of times people are just knotted up and they feel like garbage.
Yeah, yeah. And one small thing I want to mention as well is is, with stress being a factor with, trying to lose weight, and that can really work against you when you are feeling so stressed. Again, why I'm doing this series to help, reduce the stress in these 4 key areas of our life, increase the level of satisfaction so that your stress is less. But nutrition and eating healthy is important. But when you're feeling stressed and things are out of balance, you're not going to hear me, you're not going to hear Derek when we talk about, well, maybe we need to make some of these changes, maybe we need to consider these foods instead of these foods. So what our approach really is to focus on what are your current and immediate needs. Looking at whole foods and what can we crowd in, so what can we add in to your life in small ways that don't make you feel overwhelmed, don't make you feel stressed, and aren't saying, oh no, you need to stop eating that, you need to stop doing this, because when you start hearing those negatives, that's only going to drive you closer to them, right. And that's not going to work.
Yes, so. And that's, again, going into today's societies, everyone wants it now. So most people, the reason why there's so much failure in weight loss or just healthy living is because everyone wants the fast results. Mm-hmm. And so in order to get the fast results, they try to do everything within a week, and after about, it doesn't become habits. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, nothing starts happening, you're miserable, you feel really stressed out, so even on top of everything else where I talked about, and now all of a sudden you're just you stop after a week.
Yeah, you're burnt out.
Yeah, because you're trying to get rid of everything as opposed to adding the healthier stuff. And if you're focused on one little thing, well, you're probably going to get that one little thing anyway, and then you're going to add 2 more just because you already accomplished it. But if you're focusing on 3 different things, the same exact 3, and you only get 2, well, now you're going to view yourself as a failure. And even though you did 2 amazing things. Right. And that's a huge thing, is focusing on one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And so what would you say is the most overlooked benefit?
The most overlooked benefit of just exercise in general is confidence. We talked about just now, it's long term. A healthy lifestyle, a weight loss journey, which is everyone comes to us for. It is a journey. Mm-hmm. It has to become a lifestyle, and if it's not, it's going to end up being failure. With exercise, the correct exercise, and why it's so beneficial on top of all the physical stuff, is the mental side of it. Mm-hmm. If you can do more things you today than you could do before, it boosts your confidence. Mm-hmm. It boosts your energy, it boosts your happiness, because now it's oh man, I can do this. Yeah. It's why seeing yourself on a board saying you did this, it's a huge thing for confidence. And if you're focused on that confidence and those small little goals, well, now that long-term goal becomes a lot easier to obtain. Whereas if you are focusing 100% on the scale weight or 100% on X, Y, or Z, mm-hmm. well, if you're only focused on that, you're not focusing on all the small stuff that's happening beforehand. Yeah. And if you focus on the small goals, the small achievements, the long-term will end up happening overall. And so the confidence becomes a huge motivator for people, because they're focused on more things than just the scale.
Yeah, and that is so true. And I speak from my experience. I got introduced to a program over a year ago, and I started doing it, and I noticed I could start feeling, my body started to feel different. I was stronger, I was standing up straighter, my back didn't hurt quite so much, because I spent quite a few years behind a desk doing a lot of computer work. And so I became very hunched, and my shoulders up to my ears and all that horrible stuff. And so what a difference that you just all of a sudden you notice, you're walking and you're like, wow, I feel different. And then that motivates you to want to continue, because you feel more confident.
Yes, and most people overlook that 100%. Most people are only looking at, well, I only lost 5 pounds. How come I didn't lose 10? Mm-hmm. As opposed to, well, A, you lost 5 pounds, then it's amazing. Mm-hmm. And B, you have a lot more energy. You just created a healthy habit. And if you do that, now all of a sudden you lost 5, you lost 2, you lost 3. Now it becomes, whoa, man, I just lost all this weight, as opposed to why didn't I lose 20 pounds? Yeah. And if you're focused on just that number, mm-hmm.
It's
going to end up constantly coming back around. But if you're focusing on, man, I feel good, I can do a lot more stuff, I don't need pain medication to survive anymore, that becomes a huge motivator. So now all of a sudden you're going to get your long-term goal.
Yeah. So just to kind of sum it up, I mean, by including physical activity into your daily life, what can that do for you? Well, we just discovered, we can be more confident in our daily lives, experience more happiness, more joy, less stress because we're able to do things that we weren't doing before. Perhaps we've reduced medications that were keeping us functional because we were in pain before. And so that's amazing. And think about that as a whole and what that can do for you in your daily life, and how that can really change then your relationships, how that changes how you are at work, how that changes with your family. Just opening the door to just starting small with maybe some walking now that the weather is nice. When you feel good with that, maybe you're on your bike, or maybe you do belong to a gym and you're using the pool and going swimming. Find that activity that you enjoy. But I would encourage you to check Derek out, and he's got some really unique ways of working with his clients that don't make you feel embarrassed or nervous or shy. He's wonderful to work with, and he can show you some new things that maybe you haven't tried before and that might really do wonders for your body. So Derek, tell us how to find you and
we can be found a lot on Facebook. Strive Fitness and Performance on our Facebook pages because I'm never not on there. And then also our website, strivestrong.com. If you go on there, you can see all of our different programs. We have athletes, some for just regular youth. We have adult semi-private. Our group training is our main foundation that most people come in and join us through. We always provide a 30-day trial. So you don't have to sign up for like a year or anything like that. It's a 30-day trial. If you have interest in it, you can easily go on there, fill out the contact form. I myself will be in contact with you in about 24 hours. And you can come in. We have a nutritional consultation that we have in my office, sort of get you on a right blueprint, see where you're at, and have an assessment. You'll be able to engage in one of our workouts, and we can sort of go from there. There's no obligation to join it during that time. And the biggest thing is everyone starts somewhere. Mm-hmm. Majority of our clients have been done literally every single diet out there, or they are joining gyms and just feeling lost, and they're afraid of doing something because they don't think they can do it. And the biggest stuff here is we meet you where you're at. Very similar to what you do with nutrition. We meet you where you're at so that way you can progress. Because if you don't think you can do something, that's fine. But A, you can. And B, you have to be able to get out of your comfort zone just a little bit to get that benefit. But not a whole bunch just to where you're going to get injured. And that's sort of what we do here is we find out where you're at, and then we make sure that you are progressing slowly, but enough to get that benefits.
That's fantastic. Well, I hope that you enjoyed our conversation today and getting some ideas and resources to help you move forward. So I hope that you take this time to think about what might work for you. Maybe it is going out after work today and taking that walk, or perhaps it is using that gym membership that you haven't been using, or maybe it's calling Derek and seeing how he can help you. So I hope this has been a benefit to you, and I look forward to talking to you again next week about spirituality and how that can play a key role into your overall health and wellness and living your best life. Thank you so much, Derek. I appreciate your time, and have a great day, everybody.